talk about the RaceDay Technology Suite. And our presenters today are Chris, James, and Matt Avery. And they're going to go through the, we're going to do a high-level overview of the RaceDay Technology Suite. We may not have time for questions just because we have a lot to cover. But if we do, obviously, we will take your questions. But with that, I'm going to hand this over to Chris.
Thanks, Shelly. So again, hold questions to the end. If we have time, we'll go through stuff, but we just we have a lot to cover, and we're just going to try to get through all of it as succinctly as possible. Starting out, current market situation. So as all of you know, there are more races out there, and with more races comes more competition. And so that means the bar is continually changing, and so we have to adapt to that. So participants in this have had growing expectations always. They're expecting packet pickup to go very smoothly. They're not expecting to wait in line at this point. They're wanting results immediately. They're wanting to be tracked. And spectators are now a part of this scenario, which is very new in regards to races. And part of that is because of social media. So now they have a voice. And as does the athlete. Both have a forum now that they can say things out loud to the general public as to whether or not things were positive or negative. And I know many of you have dealt with that. And so the spectators as well, they want information about the athlete. So again, back to the tracking side of things. Where are my friends? Where are they on the course? Again, they want those results as well. And so the constantly evolving technology, new timing equipment is always coming out. And investing in that timing equipment or investing in the new technology can be very, very costly. And so staying ahead of that is very challenging. And as it says at the bottom, profits are being squeezed by higher costs because of these greater expectations. So figuring out how to increase your revenue or cut costs to create greater efficiencies is incredibly important at this point. Using the technology to transform your race day, we've packaged this into four easily defined categories. Money, ease, being superior, and indifferent. And so with the money side of things, it's making money or saving money. One of the two. You've got to increase your revenue. There's many ways of doing that, or you've got to reduce your cost, which can be more challenging at times. The E side is streamlining what you're doing, simplifying your experience, your staff experience, your athlete experience. Superior is how are you improving the quality of your race for your athletes, for your race director, and for the spectators. And then finally, different is how are you differentiating yourself from the competition? And especially going back to, again, in this crowded market. So you guys may have seen this diagram before today or today. If not, this is our Race Day suite. We're going to be talking about each piece of this briefly today, but in greater depth. How many of you guys are staying around tomorrow or piece of tomorrow? Okay, great. So all of this, and I'm sure we'll say this several times, but there's going to be a demo room tomorrow beginning at 7:30. And all of this is covered in the demo room. And I'm sure every single person that gets up here to talk is going to say, all of this is covered in the demo room. And you can actually put your hands on it and play with it. So I do suggest, even if your flight's at noon and you're going to be here at 7:30, come early and check out the demo room so you can see what these things are. So it is a comprehensive suite. Just as a whole, RunSignup has made significant investments in this to make you successful. Like, in case you don't know, RunSignup generates revenue off of small portions of processing fees. So this is a symbiotic relationship in between RunSignup and yourselves. And so our goal is to make you better at whether it be marketing or getting results or making faster check-in, making people want to be a part of your event more, because the more people you have at your event, the more revenue you're going to generate, and in turn, on a small portion, the more revenue we generate. So we are in this together, and this is a priority for RunSignup. So just going through that suite of services, RaceDay registration, for those of you that were with Matt and I earlier, we went over this, but what we mean by RaceDay registration, we have 3 different types: kiosk mode, expo mode, and the sign-up app. And the benefits of this RaceDay registration is being able to leave registration open until the last minute, which can increase race revenue. You can bypass a lot of these latecomer requests, and it makes the day easier for your staff. You don't have people running paper registrations back and forth. You're not sitting there grinding out, typing data into a computer after the race starts, hoping that you get the 200 walk-ups in. Your participants have greater flexibility in that they can register on site at your kiosk, or they can register on their phone because registration is still open. And so all of this is integrated in, so you as the timer have a better day too. So just in terms of our 3 bullet points on the side, you can make more money off of increasing price as race goes on. Usually you have a late fee or something like that. Maybe it's $5 more. Ease, participants have a better experience because they're not writing on pieces of paper. They can register at home on their phone or in their car, hopefully as a passenger. But unfortunately, let's be honest, that's maybe not the case. But the staff are also going to have a better time. And as, again, many of you know as RDs and timers, keeping staff can sometimes be a challenge. And one of those, alleviating that challenge is by making their experience better too. And then going back to the superior experience for the athletes. So they're not having to wait in lines, and they're getting a high quality race day experience. Bid management. Again, if you join Matt and I, we talked about this in depth. If not, this kind of background screen is the side of things on the RunSignup backend. The different ways you can assign bibs. You can continue using your current bib assignment techniques and import those in. You can assign bibs to current registrations by alpha. You don't have to export and then import them back in. You can auto-assign as people are registering. You can dynamically assign with the check-in app or web check-in at packet pickup. And with this, you can reduce costs. So how many of you, by show of hands, are using at some race in the past 12 months dynamic bib assignment? So a good number of you. So for those of you that aren't, if you have things like, stock timer bibs that you're using, you can continue. If you have 400 people at a race and only 350 people are showing up, those 50 bibs go back into your stock. You might still be billing the race for all 400 because of the participant management side, but you're not out those 50 bibs and 50 tags. So again, you've reduced your cost. Or you could pass that cost, or pass that savings along to your race director, and again, just kind of continue building that rapport of we're in this together, and it can really help solidify your position in your market. So with greater efficiency with timers and volunteers, with both automation, so you're not spending a whole day prepping everything, and if you're dynamically assigning, then it's on the fly. You don't need as many volunteers there at packet pickup because of the dynamic assignment. And then again, less confusion and a quality experience with participant changes, as with we'll get into the check-in app here in a second. So with RaceDay check-in, 3rd one in a row, but Matt and I gave a presentation on this one as well today. There's been a few of them, and this, if you weren't in it, is the coolest feature, in my opinion, that RunSignup has, hands down. For those of you I've talked with last night, you're gonna use this. You're gonna use this because it's the coolest thing we have. So again, your race day experience and how quickly you can get people in and out really matters. Some of my really quick and dirty numbers on one unit, you can have 7 or 8 people registered or checked in if you pre-assign per one device in 5 minutes. By dynamically assigning it and typing it in, 15. By scanning QR codes, you can get 30 per 5 minutes per device. I mean, you can see that scale really quickly on doubling each step on how much faster you can get people through the packet pickup process. There is an app and a web check-in. So this again is removing your paper forms. The moment you print something out, it's obsolete, and you need to remember that. And so all of these products, like these 3 products, are all integrated, which is cohesive with manual searches, and again, going back to the QR and barcode. These are just some screenshots if you've not played with the check-in app. So we're going to check in the Incredible Hulk. By clicking him, we can see that you've got bib number, t-shirt size, age, sex. So all of those things that are normally on your printed out form, you have right there in the palm of your hand. Well, he didn't sign the waiver, so now you can have a signed waiver as a race director. I don't know how many of you have been in a situation where you needed to prove that a waiver had been signed, but you can view the waiver and sign it. This then takes a snapshot and saves with an IP address and a timestamp to the participant's profile, and can be reloaded at any time. Like, you can pull this up if you ever needed it in litigation. Like, for race directors, like, seriously, this is a really, really cool feature to on-the-fly get waivers signed. So once people check in, they now have a check mark, and the beauty of it is, let's say you're not at packet pickup, but your staff is, you can now be on site somewhere else doing something else, not tied to packet pickup, and know what's going on in terms of check-in numbers. So right now, someone at packet pickup checked this person in, I can be 20 miles away setting a bike course, and I know that 10% of people have checked into the race. The beauty of this is it quickly scales. I've used this analogy earlier, and that is last night we were supposed to be able to get into the market for our party last night at like 6:45. Well, they decided they weren't going to open the doors until 7. So what happened? We had a little bit of a line. What did we do? There were 2 people checking people in. Magically, 3 more staffers jump behind there, and now we just scaled by 150% the number of people checking folks in. It's the exact same thing that can happen at your race. Like, immediately you can scale with the check-in app, or web check-in for that matter. With high throughput, you can reduce the number of volunteers with either self-check-in or dynamic bib assignment, and all of this, again, integrates in with the other parts of the RaceDay tools. So now I'm going to pass it over to James.
So the next part of the suite, we're going to be talking about tracking, and this is where you can really embrace all 4 of those benefits that we're going after. You're going to be able, and I'll show how you can increase your revenue, but most importantly, you're going to definitely be able to make for a much easier experience for your participants and spectators, and also we'll be talking about how you're going to ease the experience for your staff. You're definitely going to provide for a much quality, better, superior experience when you start talking about tracking and really differentiating your experience and giving the most advanced tracking experience possible. And we're going to be looking at that with 2 types of tracking. So with the RaceDay suite, we provide 2 types of tracking. And we have the traditional bid tag type tracking, and then we also provide what we call GPS tracking, where we're taking the phone and we're turning it into a tracking device. And so with the traditional bid tag tracking, you can get progress alerts based upon the different timing pieces of equipment that you put out, and all this requires for your timer to use the suite and post data to the RaceDay results platform. Again, this is all automated, integrated with your system. As people, if you come down to the demo room tomorrow, as they're registering, they'll be able to sign up for bid tag alerts, and you'll see how that experience works. As you scan a bib, you'll be getting your finish alerts. And so, again, for a lot of events that may not even provide any type of tracking, at least you can give them a result notification. They can have that experience on their phone and get those results. And so, again, the traditional bid tag alerts are all based upon the actual equipment that you're putting out. So if you're the Boston Marathon and you can put out a piece of time equipment at every mile, then you're really providing a nice experience where people are getting alerts every mile. But maybe you don't have the revenue to be able to generate that much time equipment. So this is really where we look at GPS-based tracking to supplement that experience and provide you a way to provide both as a race and or timer. So you can have both technologies being used together. You're having your timing alerts for those that don't want to carry a phone. And then for those that do carry a phone, you can really supplement and provide for a continuous map-based experience with alerts every mile. And they can also have friends and family engage with them through this very powerful device that they're all carrying. So again, with the GPS-based tracking, you really get those progress alerts every mile. It's delivered to the app, audio alerts for the participant, and for the spectator, they're getting those progress alerts. For those that, how many have actually used RaceDay before an event or use it this morning during the morning event. Good. So RaceDay has been out for 6.5 years. We've been used over 1,900 events. And very soon, this year, we're very excited about it. We're going to hit our 1,000,000th blue dot. What does that mean? 1 million users have used RaceDay across those 1,900 events. And that will be happening later this year. So we're really excited about that. We call it the blue dot. Again, it's the experience that we show on the map, and we'll get there in a second. So we really are touching on these 4 points. So how are we going to generate more revenue? You're giving your sponsors the most coveted, I think, impression point. It's all those alerts that are going out. It's those ability for them to track in real time. So you're engaging both participants and spectators. And you're basically saying to the sponsor, you're going to be my tracking sponsor, and you can sell that and make that sponsor happen. Really, you can name your price when it comes to this. And we see that being used a lot. If you're in timer, this is an area where you can really expand your services and start saying, hey, look, I'm providing not only bid tag alerts, but I'm expanding my service and providing advanced GPS-based tracking. This is my service platform, and this is differentiating you as a timer and making you much easier sale in terms of those events that you're doing. You're differentiating your experience. Like if I go to a race and I have continuous tracking, I'm doing some relay, and then I have this other race where I don't, I might be more likely to sign up for that really great race that I had that better experience, and you can go back to that event the next year. So truly differentiating your experience with the most advanced tracking available out there, and providing for all that integrated experience with your official results. In terms of ease, again, hitting that point, can't tell you how many times I get the story of somebody sitting in the coffee shop, it's raining, and I just knew exactly when they're coming in. I could just pull out of the coffee shop, go see them, yay, you finished, and I got to stay nice and dry, right? Or the relay person that I like to really get the information they need. Now you can move that ease to your staff. So we showed in the earlier session today, like if I'm sitting there as a timer, I know exactly where my tail bike is, and I maybe tell my staff, hey, we're going to be done at 1:23. So everybody has a really good expectation of when their Sunday's going to end, when everything's going to get wrapped up. So truly trying to make it easier, not only for the participants and spectators getting the information they want, but also for your staff. So this is an example of the blue dots, and we're going to hit a million of them shortly. This is an event up in Alaska, very extreme event. There's definitely areas where they have no cell service, but again, they use our technology because it's based on GPS to provide for a very safe experience. They actually require the participants to carry the phone during the run, and they're going to be coming up on this part because of bears, because of grizzlies. So they can actually track all the runners, they know where they are, they have a monitoring view, and this is actually the monitoring view for the Extreme Alaska Triathlon. And so again, you're getting the actual position of the participants and providing for that experience. In terms of alerts, I've talked about this, you're really pumping up for your sponsors the number of impressions. Those impressions can be tailored and given to the sponsor. At the Philadelphia Marathon last fall, over the weekend, we sent close to 400,000 of these impressions went out for that one weekend. So again, the sponsor was getting a lot of value, and that value can also be transferred in other areas of our app in terms of content and so forth. So the spectators can really engage with participants also with this powerful phone, because now we have a way to communicate with them. So we call it send a cheer, but those cheers can also be contextual. They can type a message. We use that called text-to-speech technology, and they can deliver that in audio format to their friends and family. So it's really definitely one of our highest used features. In RaceDay, we have a lot of other things like meetups installed, but definitely the cheer areas of really high spectator engagement, which those spectators could turn out to be a participant next year in your event. They like what they saw in terms of the course. So over the last 2 years, we spent a lot of money on Relay. If you have a Relay event, we really recommend that you reach out to us and ask for a demo about how we do team tracking and how we tie together all these phones into one virtual team. We give not only team progress, but we also give individual leg stats to the people running the relay, and really tie together those phones into an overall team experience. It's very difficult to do this with more traditional RFID type of equipment and provide this type of experience that the relays are looking for. We had our first Ragnar event this last couple months ago, so we're really happy about that. Hood to Coast is using us, so we have a lot of great history and references on Relay. For those that used RaceDay this morning, you might have heard some kind of surprising messages delivered to you as you were going along, and we call these geo-based messages. And so this is where, as an event, you can really kick it up a notch and provide for a kind of contextual experience. So I'm getting my progress alerts, that's really cool. But like, oh my gosh, I just like had an inspirational moment. I was running up the steps, or I was doing something. You have a hard part of the course where they're hitting at a certain point. You need to deliver a certain message there. It can be something historical. We have one company, I know she's in the room. She does a lot of historical races, and she points out kind of key historical things that they pass. So again, technology is available to you to pump up that experience and provide just, again, you don't want to overwhelm the participant, but just provide a little bit extra spice to the event. So this is, again, going to those 4 points, providing that superior quality experience and differentiating your experience. So for the race operations side, I'm going to kind of move to that. With this type of tracking, now you have a monitoring view that you can see at a glance. This is a company that we work with out of Maine. As you see here, he puts tracking devices on all of his key staff. He knows right up there, ETA, my lead runner is going to be in at 8:13. He knows exactly what he has to do with this finish line. He knows how much time he has to put that finish line up and get ready for the lead runner. At a glance, he can see this information. So again, it really provides for a nice experience. There's a lot of other tools on race day monitoring, off-course alerts, and other things we invite you to explore. This is an example. We work with a trail company. They do all their events with us. They have off-course warnings turned on for participants so they know immediately when they miss that key turn on the trail events. Again, all this is available to you to see on the back end, and we invite you to explore that. An additional tool that's available with this tracking technology that's part of the suite is the ability to communicate. So we provide different types of communication tools. So now you have not only your radio system, but now you have RaceDay at your disposal. You can send out official race news to all the participants and spectators. You can dial it down, and you can actually send out contextual messages to just participants on a given course. So, and you can also send individual messages to individuals. So a lot has been built into our communication tool on the back end. I invite you to explore this area. So it can definitely supplement what you're doing in terms of your operations and how you're managing communications. It's all about sponsors when it comes to generating revenue, and then the other part, of course, is the ability for you to add an additional service. So there's a lot of opportunities for sponsor promotion, and this is really where you can provide for different things in the app in terms of content, banner ads, and or those impressions that we talked about. And giving your sponsors a really creative and very powerful tool. And that's what sponsors typically are looking for. They're looking for something a little bit more creative than the traditional t-shirt thing, or maybe some of the signage that you traditionally are offering. So you can definitely provide something here that probably name a little bit higher price for a given sponsor. So it's definitely a revenue opportunity for your race. So RaceDay is available through our Certified Timer program. We partner with our timers for distribution. So last year, we did a little over 200 events. As of this last weekend, we're at like 230 events. And we're at the end of June. So why did that happen? It's because we're rolling out RaceDay now as part of the timer program. So if you're a certified timer, if you certify in January, you can really make this part of your service. We invite you to come to the training tomorrow if you're a timer and you haven't been certified, and explore that with us, and we'll have other opportunities later in the year. So it really is our model for distribution. We're going to be using timers to really get this technology out. And again, when you think about 1 million users in 5 or 6 years, it could really change if the timers supplement what they're doing and make this an additional part of their services.
Thanks so much, James. Can you guys hear me? Is that loud enough? So I'm going to talk to you guys today about my favorite part of the wheel. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about scoring and results. So how can you use scoring and results, both results notifications as well as displays and photos and finisher certificates, to really elevate your race day experience, whether you're a timer or you're a race director working in conjunction with a timer? How can you use our services best to really make that race day experience incredible? This over here is a picture of me back in the day, timing races, and the old owner of my company. One of the best things he told us, each and every person who we work for, when you're setting up a race site, when you're coordinating a race or putting on an event, someone in that race, it's their very first race. And if you make it an amazing experience for that one person, they're going to come back. So that's what I really want to push for today. So let's talk about RaceDay scoring and the race director. These are our 2 pieces of software that we offer as a part of the RaceDay suite. So the current industry standard, it's the race director. It's been around for 30 years. It's an incredible, robust piece of software. And so your timer knows it, trust it. It's really, really solid, and it's done some incredible stuff, and it's going to continue to do more great stuff in the future. But it is getting pretty old, so we made a significant investment developing a next generation version of that to eventually replace it, called RaceDay scoring. And so what we're doing with RaceDay scoring is making sure that the timers in the room feel comfortable. They have a nice onboard ramp to a new modern piece of software that at the point where they feel comfortable enough to move over, we're going to be ready to take them in and give them a really great timing experience. We know that timers don't like change, so this is why we're offering these two products together in this suite, so that you as timers can make that transition when you feel comfortable, and it's easy for you to do that, and we want to support you in the best way. So that's why we have both of them offered together for this period. So the next generation of scoring software means you're prepared for changing technology. The great things about RaceDay scoring is that it is extremely robust bidirectional sync. So what that means is all that participant data that exists in the RunSignup database immediately will be shown and available to you in your scoring software as well. In a similar fashion, that result data gets pushed automatically. So what we're doing is making that connection between your scoring on RaceDay and the results online and your registration online continuous and just really, really well integrated. So that's going to continue to improve as we move forward with this development. RaceDay scoring and RaceDirector, along with other systems, integrate with RaceDay results. So RaceDay results is our online results platform that drives a whole bunch of other features. What's great about that is it's a simplified process for you with automated integration. So you don't have to export a spreadsheet, format it the way you want, put a header on it, and upload it to your results page. With the RaceDirector, RaceDay scoring, and other software out there that is integrated with RaceDay results, it's one-click publish, results probably, and it's super simple, making your timer's life easier. And if your timer's life is easier, and you're a RaceDirector, it makes your life easier too, for sure. And also, you get all the free add-on features along with the regular results, RaceDay photos, all of the notifications, real-time tracking, things like that. So this is really important, guys, because we're moving forward really fast with races, and people are expecting a better, more elevated RaceDay experience. They're expecting live leaderboards out, scrolling through results, and we're trying to make those features available to you and make them easy to use. So what we want is you guys to be using this stuff, telling us how we can improve it so that your races can be the best in town, because that's what we want from you guys, to have the best races in town, producing the best events, getting more people, so we're both happy. With RaceDay results, we have an open approach. This means timers can take advantage of RaceDay results using a variety of scoring software. So this is one of the things in RunSignup, it's really important to us, is to be open. We don't want to be a closed company. If you're using RunScore, if you're using AG Race Timing, there also are other systems out there that use RaceDay results, and it's great. It's the same very fluid results system. You can publish right from your scoring software, and it's available to you in all these different pieces of software. So real-time results distribution, and that's going through RaceDay scoring and RaceDirector. That's going to be a little bit easier, I think, than the other third-party platforms out there, just because we have direct control over that software. So the RaceDirector, RaceDay scoring, it's going to be a little bit tighter integration. Built-in bib tag tracking alerts by email and text. So for RaceDay results, you're able to have spectators and participants sign up for tracking a single participant. They can come in and say, look at the Find a Results, Find a Participant page on the RunSignup race dashboard, and sign up for result tracking for anyone they'd like to. It's really, really great experience to be able to get that notification as soon as your friend and family finishes their event. Or you can set up split notifications along the way and get notified there too. Participants really do want this immediate result notification. They are expecting this now. We're in a more connected world than ever. They really love seeing that text message come in. It's validation for them, and they're going to share that message on their Facebook, and it's going to only improve your event to really invest some time and effort in doing this. The variety of delivery options is the last thing. This is going to only improve the experience for your users. Live leaderboard links, results kiosks with remote setup capabilities, website on RaceJoy. You can also show these RaceDay results through the RaceJoy app if you integrate it. And what we're trying to do is give users a multitude of opportunities to get these results to participants in any way possible. So we have all these tools readily available for you. Next thing I'm going to talk about is, well, this is first of all what RaceDay results looks like on RunSignup. That's your main results page. If you look into a participant, you can see that we have automatically a finisher certificate made for them, and that's the one on the bottom left, the defaults, but you can customize it. As you see this person, Matt Stegman, they on the bottom middle, they put in their branding there. It's really making enhancing your experience for your users, and also anybody who sees this, if you're sharing your results finisher certificate, they're going to see how nice your race looks. So it's a really good way to promote your event. Also, you'll see on the right, this is a photo that was integrated with RaceDay photos. So we have a really slick way of integrating photos into our results platform. So what this does is we automatically can detect that bib number 1604 was in this photo, and we can tie it into your results. So you click into the photos link, and it brings up the photos captured with 1604, and it puts in my sponsor logo. So this is an increased revenue possibility for you. Sell Laka's brewing company. You can sell out and say, hey, you guys are the official photo sponsor, and they get their sponsor logo on every single photo that goes out. So it's some good opportunities there for increased revenue. So I would definitely check out all this tomorrow in the demo room. We've got a whole series of result kiosks. You can see we have a few different options for you to check out. So definitely come in and say hello. With RaceDay photos, decreased costs associated with hiring expensive photographers and use RaceDay photos. So I recommend trying this out. Get someone who is fairly skilled with a camera, put them out in the course, snap some photos, upload it to RunSignup afterwards, see how it goes. Because you can really, I think, create a great experience for your users just by setting up a decent camera with a good photographer. Get it out there, and you don't have to have an absolutely 100% professional photographer, and you'll really get an improved race experience. If you get a real professional photographer, they are going to offer you a heightened experience beyond that. But I think the baseline of getting one out there, it's really going to be an easy effort, and you're going to gain a lot from it. The photos automatically appear alongside each participant's results. This is great because sometimes with race photos, professional ones, they kick you out to a different website, and it's really not a great user experience. We want to make it smoother for your participants. They want to be able to see right in the results, oh, there's photos available. You click the link, and it shows a gallery of all the photos of you in the race, and it's easy for you to do that. So I think it's a really good opportunity to make your race experience better for your participants. Watermarking features, again, add sponsor value by selling that. It's really easy. You can design custom finisher certificates to make your race results stand out, giving them an experience that is heightened and elevated. This is, again, what we've been talking about this whole time. We want to give you guys all of these tools so that you can enhance your race and transform RaceDay for your participants, your spectators, and yourselves, your staff, everybody involved. So this is our goal as a product line. We really want to make your RaceDay better by making you more money, making it easier for you, making it superior, and make it different. So that's what our goal is here, and we really want to be partners with you guys. So from day one with RunSignup, that's our goal. And you've heard it here, throughout the day, I'm sure, is we want to be partners with you. We want to help you, and if there are things that we can do to improve, we want to do that because you guys are we love you. You give us so many good ideas, and you give us revenue. But the best part, I think, is the ideas, because we couldn't have thought of half the things that we've done so far without you guys in the room. So what I'm going to talk about next is the RaceDay timer certification. So if you're a timer in the room, or if you're a race director, we think that a lot of these tools you can use on your own. But we do think that a majority of them are better used if you're hiring a RaceDay certified timer. So a lot of timers, or people in the room, are RaceDay certified already, and if you're not, definitely consider it. There's a lot of good things you can learn that you might not already know. What we're finding more and more is that a lot of timers will use our services, but they haven't dived in completely to it. And what we're trying to do with the certification process is really get into the nitty-gritty with our timers. So if you're a timer who's looking to get certified, do it. If you're a race director who is looking for these services, and looking for someone who can implement them in your race to really enhance your race day experience. Try and see if you can find someone who is race day certified, because they're going to have that experience of all these products, and we'll be able to implement them in an easy way. So definitely recommend that. What I was going to say also was tomorrow we're going to have some small groups that are specific to each of these topics. And again, the demo room, come in, check it out, talk to us. We are super excited about all these products, and we want to help you. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I think that's all we've got. James, did you want to wrap it up? Or
No, Shelly will, but I did want to make one point. For those that came to the first session today, Bob talked about how much you can do in a year and then how much you can do in 10 years. For those that have played around with RaceDay scoring, I think you'd be pretty amazed how far we've come in a year. Just imagine how far we're going to be with this suite. Because again, we just rolled this out. This is the first symposium we're rolling out the suite, right? Just imagine where we're going to be a year from now, 5 years from now. So there's a significant investment. We have 4 developers right now working on RaceDay scoring. Okay, Roger, is he in the room? 1 developer, right? All those years, right? We have 4 full-time people working on just the scoring piece right now. Just imagine where we're going to be in a year. Okay? So again, there's a big investment going on in the suite, and we're going to go a long ways in a year and just see where we end up in 10 years.
So if there are timers in the room that have not signed up for the certification and want to, see me, because I need to get you into the system. So just see me by after this session, and I'll help you get that processed. If you are already certified, we are having an advanced track tomorrow that you can attend, and this is what is showing the different tracks that we have tomorrow. And again, we have the demo room. So, and if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to any of us. We just wanted to have the time to kind of go through the entire suite with you. But thank you very much for your time.